Okay, so again, we're going to try to calculate out the break-even point, but with a second example. Donut shop is a little easy, in my opinion, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. Now, if you're doing, say, a full-scale bakery with not just a donut on it, it's got donuts, it's got pies, it's got cookies, and my suggestion to you is technically do break-even point, do this calculation for each one of your products. That way you know, even if you sell a bunch of different products, I know that I need to sell 500 cookies, just cookies alone, if I wasn't selling any other products to break even. If I wasn't selling cookies and just selling those donuts, need to sell this many donuts. And then what we can basically do is calculate out an average so that you can figure out roughly at least how much money you need to make, not necessarily how much products you need to make. It makes it a little bit easier, but essentially this equation that we have here is doing that already. It is calculating out how much money you need to make to break even. So it works generally, but it has to know that magic number, that food cost percentage that's already built in. So that does fluctuate between each product, which is why I do suggest doing it for each product. Okay, so let's go ahead and break this down one more time. For this example, let's say I'm doing a cheesecake shop, but I'm doing a cheesecake shop from my house. Yeah. Okay. So from my house, and it's only me, I'm the only employee. Each cheesecake I sell for $25 a piece because these are delicious cheesecakes. People will buy them at that price. And it works out that way pretty well. We're just going to go ahead and dictate that so I can go ahead and get through this example. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to say cream cheese is kind of expensive. This recipe costs me $6.63. I want to give us a weird number so that you can kind of see how this is going to work with some of your other products in there, okay? So I'm selling it for $25 a piece, but it only cost me $6.36. Now, we know, like I said in the last example, if it cost me $6.36 and I sold it for $25, I know right off the bat there that the $6.63 is what's going to our food cost again, right? It's going to our food cost, okay? So we want to know what's that other side of it. What's the percentage, the decimal point, if you will, of the amount of money that's going to overhead and labor, okay? Real quick, to get that number, just subtract that $6.63 from the total that you're selling it for, and then you'll get how much money out of the $25 is going to overhead and labor. So 25 minus 6.63 equals $18.37. Okay? What percentage of $25 is 18.37? Well, really simply, all you do is take 18.37 and divide it by 25. And you'll get the decimal, essentially the percentage for the amount of money that is going to, once again, overhead and labor. I hope this makes sense and kind of keeping up and understanding. Like I said, how you do that is you take 18.37 and you divide it by the $25, the total that you selling it for, and that's going to give us the percentage, which comes out in a decimal point, 0.73. And that works out because we already wanted it in a decimal point, right? If we want to change it to a percentage, we just move that decimal point over 2 spots, and then it becomes a percent, 73%. $18.37 is 73% of $25. 73% of that $25 is going to overhead and labor right now, okay? So let's go ahead and plug this number into our main equation over here, okay? So we don't know what revenue is. That's what we're calculating for. We're multiplying it by our magic number, which is 0.73. We just calculated that, equals our overhead plus labor. Like I said, this is a cheesecake shop from my house. I'm the only employee. My overhead is the amount of money it costs me to survive my electricity here, my house. So we'll put that at, let's put it at 1,800. I mean, it does come out to be quite a bit of money after everything's calculated up, right? 1,800, especially if I have to add like a business license on top of that, insurance, product insurance. So if people get sick off my products, I have some kind of recoil from that. It might get costly. So $1,800 just to pay for my overhead for my own business. And then me personally, I need to make a certain amount of money to survive. Now, obviously, the certain amount of money that I need to survive is a lot less because those are my bills right there. But you never know. You might have loans for cars, previous car payments that you have to pay off. You might have child support. You might have kids. There are other bills besides that overhead that might be involved. So you have to come up with that salary. What are the rest of your bills? That's why the personal budget was so important, and add those back into it, okay? So this is just the overhead for your business. And then my salary, I still need to make, let's say, $2,000 a month to pay for all my other bills, or I will lose money, or I will go bankrupt. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and calculate this out. 1,800 plus 2,000 is 3,800, right? So we can go ahead and write 3,800 up here. Equals, once again, write these parts down. They are still there in our equation. They have not moved yet. R times 0.73 equals 3,800, okay? And now we wanna move our 0.73 over here from this side of the equation over to this side of the equation so that all we see is R equals something, right? R equals something. How do we do that? Anytime you see a variable multiplied by a number, to get rid of the number, we have to do the opposite. We divide. So we divide this side by 0.73, and we divide this side by 0.73. You can see that. And what you end up technically with is R equals 3,800 over 0.73. And we all know that that means divide. That line means divide, right? So you just divide 3,800 by 0.73, and you come up with a nice number. 3,800 divided by 0.73. It's going to get bigger. 5,206. We'll say it right there. 5,206. Okay? That is the total amount of money that I need to make to support my business so that I don't lose money, so that I can continue to do business. Obviously, when we want to turn a profit. We want to turn a profit because we want our businesses to be successful, to possibly expand our business in the future, and or sell it for a profit in the future and make our retirement go ahead and settle down, right? So that's why this is important. If I know that I need to make $5,206 a month to survive, that's how much my business needs to make, and I'm selling cheesecakes for $25 a pop, you can take that 5,206, well, this is a line, and we'll divide it by 25. And that'll tell me how many cheesecakes I need to make a month. And it's only about 208. It says I only need to make 208 cheesecakes a month, which honestly is still quite a few cheesecakes, but it's not a crazy number. But remember, this is the break-even number, 208 cheesecakes. I need to make 208 cheesecakes just to stay in business, okay? 208 cheesecakes. There was something else I wanted to say on this topic, but I can't remember what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and stop.